You know, in ancient Egypt, people saw death totally differently. It wasn't an end, it was a journey. And every journey needs that first person to blaze the trail, right? Today, we're diving into the story of the very first soul to make that trip. A king so powerful, he literally conquered death itself.
So let's meet Osiris. This guy is one of the most important gods in the entire Egyptian pantheon, and for good reason. His story is this incredible epic of life, betrayal, death, and then rebirth. He wasn't just some ruler, he was the blueprint, the one who would chart the map of the afterlife for every single soul that came after him.
Okay, so to really get why his journey into the underworld is so massive, we have to start with his life in the world of the living, a life that, well, it started at the very, very top.
So Osiris was basically divine royalty. I mean, his father was literally the earth beneath his feet, and his mother was the sky above his head. He inherited the throne of Egypt, and he brought civilization to the people. It was this golden age of peace and prosperity, with him ruling right beside his sister wife, the powerful goddess Isis. But of course, where there's perfection, there's often jealousy lurking just around the corner. And this is where things take a really dark turn. Because the villain in this story isn't some outside monster, it's family. And that betrayal turns this peaceful kingdom into a battlefield. So what's so cool about this conflict is that it's not just a family squabble. It's this epic battle between two core Egyptian ideas, Ma'at, which is divine order, and Isfet, which is chaos. On one side, you've got Osiris, the builder, the guy who brings prosperity. And on the other, you have his brother Set, the god of the harsh desert and chaotic storms. Set looked at his brother's perfect, ordered kingdom, not with pride, but with this burning envy that was just about to explode.
And wow, did that envy erupt. We're not talking about a quiet poisoning here. The myth is super graphic and violent about this. Set murders Osiris in an act of pure hatred. But then, to make sure there's no chance of a proper burial, he dismembers the body and scatters the pieces all over Egypt. The point wasn't just to kill him, it was to literally wipe him from existence.
But here's the twist. Set's plan, it backfired. Big time. By killing Osiris, he didn't erase him. Nope. He accidentally transformed him into something way more powerful and eternal. This is the story of how a murdered king became the Lord of the Dead.
Okay, so first we got to get a key piece of terminology down. The Egyptians called the dead Westerners. And you might be asking, why Westerners? Well, it's actually pretty poetic. Just like the sun god Ra died every single evening in the West, they believed that the souls of people also began their journey into the underworld in that same direction. The West was, quite literally, the land of the dead.
And this is where Osiris changes everything. After his wife Isis travels all of Egypt to painstakingly reassemble his body, he doesn't just come back to life in the normal world. Instead, he becomes the very first Westerner, the first soul to ever successfully navigate the dangerous path of the underworld and become its eternal king. He didn't just die, he literally paved the way for everyone else. He created the afterlife.
Okay, now this is one of my favorite parts. With Egyptian art, you have to remember that nothing is there by accident. Every single detail tells a story. And the way they show Osiris, it tells you everything you need to know about his incredible journey.
So let's break this down. You'll often see his skin painted in one of three really specific colors. First, you've got white. This points to the linen wrappings of his mummified body. He is, after all, the original mummy. Other times, his skin is black. This connects him both to the darkness of the underworld he rules and to the rich, black, fertile soil of the Nile that brings new life. And then, most powerfully, it's green, the color of new plants, of growth, and the ultimate promise of resurrection and life forever.
So this whole journey, from murdered king to this eternal god, that's what cements his legacy. Osiris became so much more than a ruler of the dead. He became a symbol of genuine hope for every single person in Egypt.
Basically, his story became the cornerstone of Egyptian religion. The central belief was that death isn't the end. It's just a transition. By following the path he forged and by going through all the proper rituals, any soul could hope to be reborn in his kingdom. So he wasn't some scary, grim reaper figure. He was a king, a guide, welcoming you to a new, eternal life.
When you really think about it, the myth of Osiris is all about resilience, isn't it? It suggests that even from the most violent, terrible destruction, a new and maybe even more meaningful existence can grow. It makes us ask the same question the Egyptians did, a question that still hits home thousands of years later. If every ending is just a new beginning, what does it truly mean to live?